The city limits were once here by Hunneberg's toll house, where those who wanted to sell their wares had to pay a duty before they were allowed into town. The low toll cottage is from the 17th century. Town toll regulations were in use from 1632 until 1810. Here at the edge of the town, the population was made of a mixture of artisans and poor day labourers. It may look idyllic today, but it was certainly something completely different then. Pits filled with dung overflowed and stank throughout the town. They were only emptied out when the fields needed to be fertilised, not because the pits were full. Linköping, as well as the rest of Sweden, was as sanitary as a developing country. Everything reeked of animal excrement, urine, rotten wood, mould and rat droppings. People smelt of sweat, unwashed clothes, and had bad breath because of rotten teeth. The river stank, the square stank, the church stank. The gutters were filled with refuse, and the drinking water was filled with, well, this and that. It's surprising people survived. In the house next to the toll cottage on Hunnebergsgatan 30 is Onkel Adam's house. The house was built in the end of the 18th century, and a clothes factory was lodged in the warehouse part of the building. Carl Anton Wetterberg, an army surgeon, lived in this house with his wife Hedda at the end of the 19th century. He was writing for Aftonbladet under the pseudonym Uncle Adam. He was a doctor dedicated to helping the poor in the surrounding area. Uncle Adam lived here from 1877 until his death in 1889. His wife Hedda outlived her husband by 25 years when she died in 1914. Already by 1908, it was proposed in the Svenska Dagbladet newspaper that the house be moved to Skansen. This did not transpire. Though in 1920 the town of Linköping bought the house from the daughter and opened it as a museum in 1927. Today the museum is owned by Östergötlands County Museum. Uncle Adam wrote many novels, and he was a regular contributor to the children's magazine Linnea, which he also published himself. Towards the end of his life he also wrote children's books. It seems that Charles Dickens was a big influence on him in his writing. The top floor of the house has not been changed since the time Uncle Adam was alive. The County Museum and Linköping's Guide Club have special tours of the house a few times a year. The garden has been restored in the last few years and is now seen as a typical example of a 19th century town garden. There is a fine little pavilion in the garden. Now it is time to go to the Teachers' Training College, which is the large building in the block behind us. Follow the footpath that runs on the edge of Kampen. Here was the old livestock market, which was here until 1911. Turn left at the Brunnsgatan. Soon you can see a footpath taking you into the school grounds.